What's up, Ritzy savages?
Good morning, Jake Paulers. What is going on, everybody?
Bro. For the past weeks, Jake Paul has been getting a lot of hate. I saw this trend of hating on him, but I kept quiet, believing that it would be over pretty soon. I have never been that wrong. And so I researched who Jake Paul is and what kind of videos he's making, and I was devastated.
All the competition, man. PewDiePie is next.
But I said, no, this can't be what we accept as the new content on YouTube.
Thumbnail, things got sexual.
And so I dug deeper, and what I found was dirty. Although that's kind of what you expect when you dig deep, but still, I thought to myself, there's no better way to stop this than to get to know your enemy. And what better way to do this than through a deep analysis? I'm going to cover everything. The content, the clickbait, his philosophy, and his motivations. So stick around and let's go! Jake Paul's content is pretty mediocre. It doesn't really stand out from all the other I film my crazy life YouTubers. The content isn't actually, content, but rather just the person Jake Paul. It's all about him hanging out with the bros, doing fancy things, and of course, pranking each other. I'm gonna be honest with you, I could never really identify with that lifestyle that the Jake Paulers and the Face Boys and all these other guys live and promote. Maybe it's because I'm not a shallow human being that centers his life on meaningless and overall dumb shit that never gets me anywhere except for 50 minutes of fame. Honestly, I've got respect for someone gaining 5 million subscribers in just 6 months, but with that content? That's not very impressive. That's pathetic, especially regarding his audience. I'd rather have 250 subs forever and not make the type of content he's making. As an example for the usual Jake Paul video, we are gonna glance at one of his newest videos really quick. We actually got married. So of course, that's a lie. Nobody actually gets married, at least not from a legal standpoint. The video begins with a hardcore cliffhanger, just like all his videos.
Yo, are you guys sure about just let this sink in? Now would be the time to back out. You're in the dressing room, you haven't put the suits on yet, there's still time.
Good morning, everyone. Who's hungry? I got room service.
Can you please not be that obnoxious?
Roll credits.
He seems to be one of these people who think that just by screaming what they are saying, value is added to their statement. Or he's just annoying on purpose, I don't know.
Look at how dope this hotel room is. I think it's really expensive.
Oh yeah, dude, you're so rich, I'm really impressed.
Look at this view, fam. Ooh, there's a TV in the ground.
That's really nice.
There's a sink. There's
Splendid.
a chair. There's a TV.
Yeah, okay, enough. And by the way, did he just film his body on the toilet? And was he actually taking a dump with the door open? What the hell?
Yes. We'd like the whole menu. Thanks. We got the whole menu.
Yeah, the whole menu. So now, dude 1 flirts with girl 1, and that's a really big deal because, remember, we're not actually talking about men here, we're talking about boys. And they decide that a fake wedding is really fun. And it's supposedly some sort of prank.
So you proposed to Tessa. You proposed to Erica. And I'll propose to Erica. And we could actually legitimately get married in Vegas.
Yeah, no.
Then they set up everything in elongated and stretched down scenes until they propose to the girls. They say yes, but it's completely pointless because they get that it's just for the camera.
Oh. So we're just doing this to go along for the vlog, right?
I mean,
it's not real?
It's for the vlog, but
So everything that's now to come is just a charade for your entertainment and has no consequences after all. Although Jake Paul really pisses me off because he can't even stop vlogging when they stand in front of the pastor who's supposed to marry them. I mean, this guy, he would probably vlog his own divorce too and grin stupidly into the camera. Now, honestly, one can not really expect elaborate and intellectual videos from someone who puts out videos every single day. But that's why you shouldn't make videos every fucking day. Of course, this is only possible in the first place because his videos don't require a lot of work. He doesn't have to write a script. His editing doesn't require a lot of effort as well. He just has to cut every minute or so. And overall, it's not that challenging. But that results in tiring, long videos that are clearly only made for the common Jake Pauler. Yeah, I'm calling them that, you only got yourselves to blame. That wants to know what a 20-year-old in California with way too much money is going to do next with his crazy life. That, of course, is way more interesting than oneself's life could ever be, which leads to depression and possibly suicide.
Literally, be taking someone's life.
Now what's with the positivity, Jake, huh? Well, for now, let's talk about the... Please don't get me wrong. I won't criticize Jake Paul for using caps lock titles. After all, I'm using them myself. But in my opinion, that's not really a problem too. I would define clickbait roughly as a misleading or over-exaggerated title. A title that makes you expect something the video actually does not contain. And that's not the case with my titles, to get back to the example. I am making a deep analysis about how obnoxious Jake Paul is. Sure, the title might be pointed, but it's not a blatant lie. Jake Paul, however, doesn't seem to have the same view on this. His videos usually get to the promised thing eventually, but that may take a while. This sometimes leads to a very strange structure of the video. In his My Response to the Hate video, he begins, like always, with a cliffhanger that foreshadows what's about to come.
And I woke up this morning to allegations that were being made by Alyssa.
But then this video, that's supposed to be one of the more serious ones, turns into a I do funny pranks on my friends video. I mean, what the hell? In his Draw My Life video, he explains that he took acting classes in LA. However, directing cannot have been a part of this, because otherwise I can't explain this complete change of tone that has no message or connection to the rest of the video. He needs 9 minutes to actually get to the content according to the title. So roughly 40% of the video is just filler. How are people just accepting this? It's like the typical soap opera. They start one plot line, but they don't finish it. Instead, they start another plot line and another plot line and so on. And just when you think you get to the resolution of one plot line, it cuts away to another plot line. I really hate that. In his Draw My Life video, Jake repeatedly mentions how important building up his business is to him. And this might be the most probable explanation for all of this. The very complex YouTube algorithm that's responsible for the list of recommended videos you frequently get looks at several factors when reviewing a video. While likes barely have an impact, the watch time is a big factor. This leads to longer and longer videos because the creators know that they will do better. Heck, even my best video is the longest I've made this far. To summarize all of this, the reason Jake's titles are clickbait, the reason almost no video is shorter than 20 minutes, the reason why he's not just chilling with Team 10 but rather has legal contracts with them, it all comes down to his views and his growth, and therefore his revenue. Some of you might call that business, but I call that greediness. And I don't know since when that's a virtue rather than a misconduct. And that makes a brilliant transition to get into Jake Paul's final... For me as a European, Jake Paul's worldview has a very American touch to it. And I'm not referring to illogical measurements for weight or height or obesity. I'm talking about his unreflected and linear views on his goals, his life, and what he likes. I mean, come on. he used to be really into football, into guns, into cars, and into girls. I mean, how generic is that? That's why I'm a homosexual. No, I'm not. Sure, you can expect a 20-year-old to automatically like politics, philosophy, or just thinking in general. I'm just guessing. But he admitted that he, how else could it be, didn't like attending high school, and as far as I know, he didn't even plan to go to a college or university, but rather wanted to become a Navy SEAL. You know, these stereotypical bullies you always see in high school films that are really dumb but strong as hell, and of course the captain of the football team. Yeah, he kinda reminds me of them. I mean, let's be fair. I don't really know whether or not he's a prudent or thoughtful person. The only insight we get into his life is through his videos. But we can make assumptions about him that are based on his behavior and his words. And he's not really bringing up a lot of deep or meaningful subjects. Don't get me wrong, light entertainment is not bad or useless in my opinion. I enjoy that myself. But even that conveys certain values just because the person creating them has certain experiences, views and opinions that are going to influence his or her work, at least on a subconscious level. And I can't find very good traits when I look at Jake Paul. Dishonesty. He's lying to you in the title, he's manipulating you so you watch his videos, and it seems that he cheated on his ex-girlfriend Alyssa Violet, and even if that's not true, it resulted in a massive scandal that is not very mature or well handled. Greediness. He's not just uploading videos every day, whether they are of quality or not. He also tried to monetize other people's video talking about him when they were clearly fair use. That's a no-no. Egocentrism. He wears a hoodie with his initials on it and calls his fans Jake Paulers. I mean, come on. But honestly, if I made videos about my cool and exciting life every day and millions of people were watching that, I would be self-centered as well. Fake positivity. This one really pisses me off. He's really capable of some mental gymnastics I couldn't even dream of. Just take a look at the before mentioned video, my response to the hate.
I want to thank everyone who in the past week that has hated on me, talked smack or, roasted me or reacted to my videos or whatever it is.
Yeah, just throw everything into one corner. It's not constructive criticism or commentary. It's all just hate and made up. That's a nice way to push everything other people say that you disagree with away. The fatal flaw of this is why some people genuinely make videos because they want to hurt you and your channel. Others are actually making valid points about your music and behavior. And that is not something you should just disregard purely out of despite for the hate. But that requires that you reflect what other people say. Does it contain truth? What's the message of the sender? Is it possible that it is true? Jake Paul prefers the easy answer, just like Trump supporters. It's all bullshit and none of it is true. I really hate this attitude because it teaches the kids that are watching his videos totally wrong behavior.
But for all of you that may have hated on me or are thinking about hating on someone else, I need you to stop. Because you literally never know when your comment, your word, your video is going to be seen by the wrong person where they end up damaging themselves.
This is an interesting statement because he's actually comparing his hate to an everyday bully. The problem is that Jake Paul is not a fat girl with braces and a hardcore form of acne that gets bullied at school. It's someone who purposefully releases his videos onto the internet. Like, do you think Ethan and Neela would go out of their way to bully someone? What?
You never know who that person is that isn't gonna think it's funny, and they could seriously end up dead. I'm not gonna put a filter on this. Like, we've seen it over and over again.
That's the pure reflection of the gymnastics I was talking about. Should we ban all parodies and jokes just because they are not 100% kids friendly and someone might take it the wrong way? No, of course not. Unrealistic ideals.
It's every day, bro. It's not just I vlog every day. It's not just I work out every day. It's not just smile every day. As long as you're doing that and you have eternal happiness, nothing else matters.
This is a philosophy I really don't like. It's the over-exaggerated optimism that has one fatal flaw. It always contains a lack of self-acceptance. I know this is an unpopular thing to say in a world full of get better, do this, improve now. Changing to the better is great, but smile every day? Seriously? Do you smile every day? Are you a happy person every day? Is that even desirable? Let me cite the great philosopher Alan Watts.
How do you know what's good for other people? How do you know what's good for you? If you say you want to improve, then you ought to know what's good for you. But obviously you don't, because if you did, you would be improved. So we don't know.
His views on hard work. He got notorious for his shitty music.
It's every day, bro. I said it's every day, bro.
And you know what? He takes pride in the fact that they produced each of these songs in just one day. But that's just lazy. He really stresses many times how he appreciates hard work. And this is the opposite. Such a song would have never been that successful if he hadn't been famous before already. But he knew that, and so he didn't give a fuck. Great dude, just great.
We made this in one day.
That's really an accomplishment. So there might be more to say, but honestly I'm really tired of talking about this dude. So instead let's focus on something else. For example, how you should tell me whether you think I'm right or wrong down in the comments. So you could gloze over Jake Paul's videos just with a meh and watch something different. But I don't think we should do that. Not so much because we should hate on Jake Paul, but rather because we should decide if Jake Paul is a person who should be big on YouTube. And that's not just because I don't like his videos. I think it just showed how he conveys certain values to a very young audience that shouldn't be taught, in my opinion. Do you want a generation of Jake Paulers? Well, I don't. Honestly, when I wrote the script to this video, I had to watch some of Jake Paul's videos and they are so toxic, it really made me depressed. Just that whole vibe Jake gives up is so cheeky and narcissistic that I had to watch some good old H3H3 reaction video to remind me that life does not purely revolve around f***ing bitches, having the trappiest clothes, riding fancy cars and being famous on Instagram. Of course, I'm not someone who knows everything best. I don't have a monopoly on the truth. But I'm not just thinking of his young and impressionable audience, but also of the content that's trending on YouTube in general. I feel like it's slowly becoming the trash TV of the internet. So to stop that now, smash my subscribe button and watch some more of my cool and highly intellectual videos. After all, I am a role model.